Okay, someone else is. Om Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. So, we saw last time, we are seeing that how your mind is covered by kama ityadi, kama krodha ityadi, and therefore you are impelled to do certain things that you wouldn't want to do, or refrain from doing things that you wouldn't have to do. Okay. And here also said, we've seen this much, the Indriyani ado samyamya bharatrash. Because what is the locale of desire? Indriyani manobuddhi. Kama or krodha, or anything for that matter. The heart can desire only what the eye has seen. Any object of desire is also a known object. If you don't know, how can you have a desire for it? Every object of knowledge is not necessarily an object of desire, but every object of desire is known to you. So the heart desires. Then, where does your intellect come into play? Because your intellect has to justify that thing. Hey, that's a nice thing. Yeah, it's nice. All thinking. Now you will build up and your heart will start desiring. It is good. I look good in that dress. Now I want it. If you are just saying, it's nice, it is nice, and walking away, no problems. Yeah. No problems. But that's not how it is. Your mind has to, your buddhi has to play with it. Yeah. And justify it. Find it attractive, desirable. Only then the heart will follow suit. Yeah, that's important to see that. So he is saying, first refrain at the level of sense organs, because when we have a thought and a desire, and thought and desire and harmony, and automatically we will act on it. Good, bad, ugly, whatever, without thinking. So he says, Damaha, this is called Dama. Put down the shutters at the sense organ level. Say, no, this is it. Then handle at your thinking level, not at the desire level. I should not want it, I should not want it, you want it. The heart doesn't understand should and shouldn't. How will the heart understand that? We are fighting our desires for what? Here. If you have justified something that's unhealthy, counter-positive thinking. Okay, yeah, that is important. That's why last time I talked about that Pratipaksha Buddhi and all that, remember? Pratipaksha Bhavana and all that I talked about. To think of the opposite extreme. Your mind is already swung to one extreme, you think of the opposite extreme, so you'll come to a balance. The opposite extreme is not a fact. You're just taking it that way. And then so that the mind comes to a balance. There are 101 ways of doing it. Or see the problems of the whole thing. Whatever you need to do, you need to do. Okay. Then this is the way of handling any emotion. Any emotion, this is a way of handling. Anger, feel like whacking that guy, your hands are already become into a fist. No, no. Act of will, no. Yeah. Take a few deep breaths. Okay. Then what? I took a few. Kid comes home from school with a note from the teacher. Your son has been fighting again in school. So the mom tells the kid, did I not tell you to count 10 breaths if you get angry? Yeah, mom. So I counted 10 breaths and I got even more angry and hit him even harder. So, don't build up. It's all building up happening here. Thought by thought you build up emotions. Nip it in the bud. Hey, relax. India is a free country. If the guy wants to behave like an idiot, he has the right to behave like an idiot. One type of thinking that help you make you laugh at the whole thing and leave it. Or whatever works for you. Yeah. Be more realistic, be more this. Yeah. That violence is not always the answer. Sama, Veda, Dana, Danda comes to the last one. Okay. Not that there is no place for violence, no, but that's the last resort, not the first resort. So, whatever you need to think to get out of that emotion, if it is inappropriate, is appropriate, fine, don't worry. Only if it is inappropriate, work on that, he says. Then he gives this last statement we saw here. Indriyani parani, who Indriyas are supposed to be greater than the objects outside. Because if the sense organs are not there, the object is not there. No? I can't see. Where is a red rose? The red part is gone. So, Indriyani paranahu. Indriyebhya param manaha. Mind is supposed to be superior to the sense organs. Because if the mind doesn't back the sense organs, what can the sense organs do? Manastu para buddhihi. Manastu para buddhihi. Mind is, your reasoning, your intellect, your knowledge is greater than your emotions. And buddhehe parastu saha. You, the consciousness, is superior even to that. Yeah. Consciousness is absolute reality. Okay, so what? All right, fine, accepted. So, how does the whole thing come into play here? Evam buddhehe param buddhva samstabhyam atma atmanaha jehi shatrun mahabhaho kamarupam durasadam. Evam buddhehe param buddhva. Knowing that which is beyond the mind, knowing that which is beyond the mind, param buddhva, samstabhyam atmanatmanam, make that mind steady, he says. Make that mind, samstabhyam, place that mind, your understanding and your emotions in that knowledge of the self, place it on the self. Then, Jahi Shatrun Mahabhaho, Mahabhaho, this Shatru called Kamarupam, Durasadam, which is difficult to conquer, etc., you will aram se win it over. Now I know why I can't handle my emotions. Because I don't know the truth. No. That's not what is being said here. You manage your emotions. As a human being, you need to know how to manage your emotions. That's what he talked first. But you're only managing. Remember, I have not used words like control, etc. I have not used words like suppress, etc. I'm just saying manage, handle them, master them, be awareful. All that, when you say work with your knowledge, what does it mean? Be awareful of the whole thing. Be aware what's happening in your mind. The seed of desire starts with a fancy. Be aware. Okay, you want to go for it? Not go for it? Make the decision right in the beginning. At fancy stage, it's easy to drop it. No, it's okay, it's fine. All right, go for it. Now it's problematic. Forget it. Drop it there. When you manage your emotions at that level, there can still be some rasa left in you. Some residual effect can also be there in you. If only I could have got that, yaar. You know, I wanted to do it as a child. Now how can I go and do it here? I'm an adult now and 30 plus. अभी क्या कर सकता है? Some rasa is left behind. Okay, youngsters, be careful of this statement, but it's a statement worth understanding. Most people on their deathbeds do not regret what they do, they regret what they did not do. Okay. Therefore, with a lot of discernment, decide what you're going to do or not do. Okay, yeah. So, that rasa is left behind, that little bit. He says that will go when you know the truth. That you can't remove with just managing your mind. That little bit of residual anger or something, residual, little bit, about 10% may be left behind, 5%, 10%, which doesn't affect your life, but it will be there in you. The wounds have healed, the scars remain. The wounds have healed, the scars remain. So where will that go? Param drishtva. Param drishtva. Yeah, that'll go. You will be able to laugh it off. All psychological process is about handling your mind. But psychological process is a relative process. It doesn't work all the way. But once you are psychologically healthy, there's an emotional maturity there, then you can handle the truth. You can know the truth. Without that, you can't know the truth. So if you're waiting to know the truth, to handle your emotions, forget it. It won't happen. And many people come to me, they study 10 years, 15 years. Swamiji, I know, but I have not been able to own it up. Why? Because there will always be some area that you have not dealt with, managed it. There is some area. Yeah. And sometimes those type of things can create a projection on the teacher also. Because learning, especially if you are learning full time, is in a way a psychological process. So a lot of projections can be caused. Yeah. This is okay. As long as you deal with the projections, that is getting you a chance to heal actually. Yeah, that's getting you a chance to heal. I mean, I've had 40-year-olds rebelling against me as though I am their father figure. I'm not an authority figure. That's the last thing I am. I don't tell people do this, do that. But there was this 40-year-old girl. Stop telling me things, stop this thing. Stop. Is that okay? That's a projection that's happening, father figure. Yeah. Because she had a lot of issues with her father. And father had just died a year back. So, a lot of projection. Yeah. See, to look at your teacher as a father figure is not a problem, okay? That's just looking at him as a father figure. In fact, one of my students from UK, she is now in Turkey, she sent me a photograph. Both of us together taken in the last Rishikesh camp. And she showed it to her friends, hey, this is my teacher. She says, he looks like your father. Not much, just that both of us have big foreheads, that's it. Looks like your father. So she said to me, hey, all my friends think you're my father. I said, I'm happy to play that role, not a problem. That's not a projection, I think. That's just looking at it as father figure. That is not an issue. Yeah. I mean, I'm taking one of the projections which are not much problematic, father figure, or a mother figure, this thing, which is not very problematic. There are other things, projections that can become problematic. But it happens. It's part of growing up, part of the process of learning. Like you have a lot of transference. It's called transference in psychology. Transference and projections on your therapist you will have. So same thing will happen on your teacher also. That's okay. That's not a problem. But why does this all happen? Or there will be some issue which will trigger you off and you just don't know how to handle it. You're behaving without any wisdom. Hey, this is the area you are not handled. This is the area in your life you are not handled. But Swamiji, I am 50 now, what do you mean I am not handled? Hey, you can carry it for the next lifetime also, if you don't handle it now. That the trigger point is there and it has triggered and it's coming now is a good thing because you are getting a chance to handle it. So handle it. Yeah, Karthik, you have a question.
So Swamiji, if there are certain areas that are not handled,
Yeah.
can one still arrive at the truth? It's just that they won't be established in it, is it?
Exactly. You will understand, but you will not. You will find it difficult to own it up in your life, and in that area where it is not handled, the knowledge will not be available for you at all, because that is a dark area. So you have to have the spotlight on all this, the shadow sides of yourself, the disowned parts of yourself, the unresolved issues in your life. It's a psychological process that happens. But part of the game. Yeah.
So Swamiji, so essentially the more one's emotional maturity grows, the more one gets established
Yeah.
in the truth.
Exactly.
Point. Okay.
Yeah. That's why look at Arjuna. At the end of the Mahabharata, at the end of the teaching, he did not go and sit down somewhere to meditate, to make it a fact of his life. He said, Nashto moha smritar labh. My delusion has gone. The Gandhiva jumps back into my hands. Let us roll now. Battle awaits. He was ready. Yeah. That knowledge was there in him. Why? Because prepared mind, mature mind. Been there, done that, seen a lot of life. Yeah. So, that maturity helps. Now, maturity is not always age dependent, okay? This is also important to understand. Yeah. There are youngsters much more mature than older people, or vice versa. Because it is not age dependent. How many lifetimes have we lived? How many lifetimes? How many lifetimes have we lived? Yeah, we lived many lifetimes. Karthik, I am making you co-host because I think somebody is waiting in the waiting room, but I can't see it here.
Sure.
Oh, sorry, going to someone else. Yeah, because a person called me and unfortunately I not put my phone on silent today. Forgot that.
I was trying for so long, I'm not connecting.
Okay, you are being recorded.
Sorry,
So this is the thing, that if there is a dark area, you need to handle it. And as I said, maturity is not age dependent. So you bring it in. At whatever age, whatever is happening, you bring it in. Yeah. So some experiences in life do help. So people say, that's why people say Pariksha Lokan, etc. After having examined life, the statement is after having examined life. So you can examine life by looking at it, this thing. Some participation is necessary. But it is not that you can experience every bit of life, can you? Nobody can experience everything in life. Yeah. Each person has their own experiences. So from the experiences you learn. And today's world, by the time you are 25, 30, you have enough experiences in life. You have been there, done that, seen that. Yeah. So it's good enough. Yeah. So these experiences in life puts you in touch with situations which you need to grow. Yeah. And sometimes you may not have a dark area in your mind also. You may not have anything in your mind. Then what? Then don't bother. You're fine. Because a problematic area of your mind is created by the sum of the situations you underwent. When you are younger and at that time you did not have the maturity to deal with it fully, or you did not have the time. Like, see, many soldiers, when they come back from the front, have post-traumatic stress disorders, PTSDs. Why? Among Indian soldiers, I found it less. Western soldiers, it is higher. Now, why does that happen? You have a buddy with this person here, and he's next to you, and he's shot and he's killed. You don't have time to grieve. Oh my God, I lost a friend. How are you feeling? That time is war here. Come on. There's no time for all that. So you act. You push that into your mind. You push that grief inside, whatever inside, and you are acting. You are doing what is necessary. Yeah. Killing somebody. As a soldier, you kill. You think that doesn't affect you? You think it is like what you see in the movies or what? One hero found out that fighting in real life is not like fighting in the movies. It is not. It changes you. It's trauma. Yeah. If you've taken a knife and stabbed somebody in the stomach, it affects you. Yeah. Because you get angry at somebody and you feel like that, doesn't mean that when you do it, it doesn't change you. It does. So when you go through all these, and you don't have the time to handle it there, that's not the time to handle it either. You have to push it back and do what is necessary. Do what is necessary. Then what happens? Then when you come back, or when you are in a peace station, that's the time to process all that. If that is not done, then stress will come up like that. Yeah. So you have to process it afterwards. Yeah. Naturally. The psychological processing has to happen. And to an extent, I find it less in Indian soldiers because the religion is part of it. They are all religious people. They all are people who have some, at least if not much understanding, some faith in God is there, which helps them accept situations, handle things. The idea of duty is high, so they have classified this as duty, not as something that they have done as crime. West, where is the concept of duty? There is only heavy duty and light duty, vehicles. In England, there is some, at least in their poetry, there is some idea of duty. In the poetry, it is there. Yeah. But India, this is high. Yeah. And many of these soldiers come from families and villages committed to the army or the services. So the whole traditions, etc., help them deal with it better. Yeah. But all this is what? If you are not dealt with it there, which you didn't have the time or the leisure to be able to deal with it, it will come up when you have the leisure, or it will come up when something triggers you off. And that time, you won't deal with it. That's a sign. You get enough experience in life to trigger off things that you need to trigger off. And when it triggers, deal with it. That is where maturity is. On your own, with the help of a teacher, with the help of a therapist, whatever, do what works. Yeah. I had a lot of it, I dealt it on my own. Why? Because my time therapy was not there. My teacher I talked to a little bit, but my teacher was not that available like how I am available to you all. Yeah. So I dealt with it. And the Prasada Buddhi, Ishara Arpana Buddhi was there, so that helped. Psychological process I knew. I was interested in the psychological process, so I had studied some things there. So I dealt with it. But nothing wrong seeking help. Why? Your maturity is important. You are to get it, whatever. Jaya kaya cha vidhaya, in whatever manner possible. Do it, get it. I am a student of Vedanta, how can I go for therapy? Because you are not yet a Sishya. You are not Siksha Yogya yet, that's all it means. Remember, in the beginning of the Gita, I said 3 levels of students. One is a Vidyarthi, who desires to know. Students, like our college students, they're going to college for knowledge, yeah, supposed to be. But where are they? Are they in the classrooms? When I go hunting for my youngsters, I don't walk into the classroom first. Every college has its local adda. Go there first. Wherever. Each college has its own. I'll tell you, most of the colleges I know. Go there first. Hey, they're not there. Go to the canteen. Not there? My God, this is not there in the canteen also? Library. Not there in the library also. Then maybe in the classroom. Wait for the lecture to be over. Vidyarthi. So many people, adults are also like that, Vidyarthis. They want to know, but how much are they willing to do? Second level is Antevasi, committed student. They stay with the teacher. Antevasi they are called. In South, you must have come across the term Antarjanam, etc. Yeah. Antevasi, they stay with the teacher and learn. I mean, they are committed students. There is a level of commitment among them. The third level is Sishya. Siksha Yogya, he deserves to be taught. Such a person deserves to be taught. Why? You have taken care of all the stuff. Antevasi is in the process of taking care of all the stuff. A Vidyarthi will say, what is that? Okay. This broad classification, each one of us to decide where we are. Okay. So, that process of handling is important. You can't wait to know the truth to handle this. This handling is a necessary thing, which is what is handled in the books that deal with qualification of a student. In the Shat Sampati, the third qualification, these things come. Samadama, Uparati. Uparati means an inner quietude. You have dealt with things. That will be generally translated either as Sannyasa Nishta or Karma Yoga Nishta. The Uparati that comes out of Sannyasa Nishta or Karma Yoga Nishta. You can't have Sannyasa Nishta without Karma Yoga Nishta. We have seen that here. Karma Yoga Nishta first. Because that is what you are dealing with life. When you are dealing with life, you will get a lot of triggers that will trigger out all these things. Then with sense of acceptance, etc., you handle it. Accept the fact I have this trigger here, come on. I have not dealt with this, accept it. And then deal with it. Yeah. Ishvara Arpanam, Prasada Buddhi. If it is situational, then Ishvara Arpanam, Prasada Buddhi may be enough. You know. Yeah. It may not be enough also. For a mature mind, Ishwararpanam Prasada Buddhi is enough. For a mind that has got these things inside, you may need a little bit more help. That's why Samadama separately mentioned. Dhamma is at the physical level mastery, Sama is Mano mastery. Mastery of the mind is called Samaha. You need that, Shamaha. And then Uparati, things are quietened down into you. Quieting down doesn't mean you are not dynamic, okay? Yeah. You can be very dynamic with a quiet mind. Yeah. So, all this is part of the game. So, when you deal with that and then come to the learning, then that little bit residue that is there. Param drishtva nivartate. Earlier he had said that. Param drishtva nivartate. So similarly here, this buddhehe param buddhva, you mastered everything. After that you can laugh it off. A thing would have been a trigger before. Whatever residue is there. Once you know the truth, you laugh it off. Okay. Revade, revade. Let be. It's not an issue after that. But that is the final step. And that can happen only if the preparatory steps are taken. And it is not that this will come up only in the beginning of your studies. Okay, I am bringing in something with other Upanishads. Mandukya Karika. Generally, it is among the one of the last Upanishads you will study. Okay, you don't study directly go into Mandukya Karika. You will go into Kata Upanishad, Mundaka, Ishakena, Kata Prashna, Aitreya, Taittiriya, all that. Then come to Mandukya. Okay, there in the Karika, he is talking about Nididhyasana as owning up the truth. There he talks about 4 obstacles to meditation. Vikshepa, normal disturbances. Nidra, sleep, feeling sleepy. Okay. Third is called Kashaya. You are meditating, Kantam. You are not sleepy, you are not disturbed, but you are feeling stuck. कुछ होता नहीं है. You are not feeling anything. Sakashayam vijaniyat. Sakashayam vijaniyat. He says this is Kashaya, this is that residual thing in your mind, that unresolved thing in your mind that has colored your personality. So, what do? Just watch, wait, let it throw up whatever is there. When your conscious mind is quietened, the unconscious will throw up whatever needs fixing. So, for all of us, it's a good idea to meditate so that we know what is going to come up. And that time, accept it. Don't fight against it. No fighting against it. No saying, how can I have such feelings? Because you are a human being, you will have these feelings. Yeah. You are a human being, now these feelings will come up. Fantasies may come up. It's okay. It only shows you are a human being. There is nothing to feel guilty about anything. God, I remember what I did. I am feeling so ashamed. When did you do that? 20 years ago. So you are wiser today, na? Then. So it was done by a foolish person, okay? When you are foolish, you are not as wise you are today. Good. If I recognize I was foolish 20 years ago, that means you are wiser today, na? Otherwise, how can you recognize I was foolish? How could I have done it? Because you are a human being, you did it. Deal with it. So one person decided, I must ask that person for forgiveness. So when did know? I said, what did you do? The guy doesn't have any memory of it. Deal with it in your own mind, okay? This talking to that person, etc., is good up to a point. Sometimes the person is not available. Is not available for their conversation, then what? Doesn't it happen often? The guy is not available. Or is in complete denial about what has happened. That is their growth. Let it happen at their time. You take care of your growth. If you think it is not available, forget it, deal with it yourself. Deal with it through journaling. Deal with it by talking over to your teacher. Deal with it by talking over a therapist if you think that is necessary. Whatever it is, deal with it. Because Kashaya will be there. Swamiji, I have lived now 60, 70 years. Kya Kashaya? Chances are better that there will be Kashaya. What you did when you were in your 20s. or what you did not do when you were in your 20s and 30s. All those things can come up. Yeah, it can come up. Regrets can come up. Yeah. Anger against your parents can come up. In your 50s, 60s also. I said, 60s, what anger with their parents? I love them, I forget. What? You love them? Who says you not love them? You mean you can't be angry with somebody you love? In fact, you get angry only with people you love. Think of your marriage, you'll know. You'll understand it exactly well. You get angry only at close people, isn't it? Because you feel comfortable enough, close enough to get angry with them. Yeah. Unless it's road rage to a stranger. But why so much of road rage? There's a lot of frustration inside. You're stuck in traffic for so long now, and you're feeling frustrated inside, it triggers off against somebody who cut you in. That's it. So all this, don't take it lightly. It is serious enough to be dealt with. It always happens in people's lives. All these issues, deal with it. Then what? Then the truth is clear. Haste amalakam iva. The one of Shankara's student who was called Hasta Amalaka. Why? He says the truth was as clear to him as keeping an amla in your hand. If you keep an amla in your, can you miss it? So the truth was that clear to him. And he was a youngster. He was the youngest of all Shankara students, Hasta Amalaka. The truth will be that clear. Why should it not be clear? So look at how he has built it up over the second and third chapters. Okay? He started with a bang by talking about the truth, what the reality is. Na bhavo vidyate sata, na sato vidyate bhava, etc. The whole thing straight. Then what the individual is, he went into. First, he started with the reality outside. Satyam mithya, what the reality is. Then what the individual is. Functionally, dehantara prapti, etc. You give up, like how you give up clothes, you give up your body. That's the functional part of it he talked about. Then he talked about the reality also. Then he gave you a lifestyle also, the Karma Yoga lifestyle. Why? Until you know the truth, how you are going to live in a way that you can get mature enough to know the truth. And in that Karma Yoga lifestyle, it is very important to fix up your priorities. Your ultimate and immediate priorities are very important to fix up. Moksha can be your ultimate goal. In fact, it better be ultimate goal for everyone. Okay. Yeah. But immediately also there are priorities to be taken care of. Duties, responsibilities, all this comes under priorities. Vyavasayatmaka buddhi, that's very, very important. People skip that section when they talk about Karma Yoga. People skip it. They go just straight to moksha, which is necessary. Go straight to moksha. If you are going straight to moksha and moksha is only priority in your life, what are you doing there? Chalo, Rishikesh chale jao. What are you doing there? Because that's the only priority in your life, you are saying. No? But the fact that you are not yet ready to walk off to Rishikesh shows that there are some priorities left. What is it one has to identify? It will come into your mind as desires. I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do that, I want to do that. What is behind that desire? You have to look into it. And never get tired talking about this part, because this is the part that people miss when they become spiritual. First of all, they deny the desire. If you are an Indian, you are used to denying the desire, especially if you are an Indian who is 60 plus. I am talking to all the older people here. We are used to denying desires. Thank God the youngsters don't deny the desire. They are aware of their desires. I want it. They are okay. That's good. I told you the story, no? Train travel. Kadapa, hot area. hot. And those days, I'm talking about my younger days, the guy comes with a bucket full of ice and cold drink bottles in it. So all the kids are saying, "Daddy, Daddy, we want to," and the wife is keeping quiet. And the man realizes the wife is feeling inhibited to say, I want one. So he asks, "Would you like one?" She can't even say yes. She counter questions, "Will it be cold?" It's kept in ice. What do you expect it to be hot or what? But can you see the inhibitions are so high? The desire is there, but it is what I call inhibited desire. Why? Because we are not feeling comfortable to say yes to that desire. My generation, okay? My generation a little older. Parents are in the village. Tamil Nadu, Kerala, wherever, Punjab. Boy is working here. He is looking around, but those days there weren't so many women in the workforce, very few. Or you are in an area of engineering, etc., where those days even fewer. Even now, only about 30% are women. Those days, so one or two. So where do you find somebody? Those days, Tinder, all this was not there, or whatever other apps you have, I don't know. Only Tinder I have heard of. Yeah. What are the other apps that is available? Oh, Bumble, okay, all those things. Not available. So then you have to tell your parents to find somebody for you, arrange match. So go and tell will you go and tell your dad, I want to get married? No, you'll write to him. You know, I've been eating hotel food all these days. I don't have time to cook. Hotel food is not suiting me. I'm getting stomach upset. The father is supposed to understand, the son is saying he wants to get married. The father is smart. He also wants his break. He says, don't worry, I will send mom over to stay with you for 3 months. Then the mom will come and stay there. And then she will slowly get it out of him that I want to get married. I miss having a romantic partner. Inhibited. Can you see this? Inhibitions. To what extent? Thank God, those who are below 40, I don't have this. I'm very happy to see that. At least they are accepting their desires. Now, behind that desire, this is the next step that people are not looked into. What is your priority? When you are in touch with that and you're keeping moksha as the ultimate goal and other priorities are falling in line, it's beautiful. Life is great. That is called Karma Yoga lifestyle if you add the attitude of Ishwararpanam and Prasada Buddhi. Then it's complete. Then you're a proper Karma Yogi. Then in time you will find you have grown out of the desires, either through fulfilling it or Revadi, not worth the time and effort. It's not worth that much of time and effort. You tried for it, it didn't work out. It's okay. Revadi. Before trying, also you can give it up. If your vichara is strong enough. But you may not be. But at least you tried, now it didn't work out, doesn't matter. Easier. Yeah. Especially with Ishwararpanam is there, Prasada Buddhi is there, easier because you grow in the process. Then after that there's an option of a lifestyle. You want to take sannyasa or not? Sannyasa is optional. Karma Yoga is not. As a student of Vedanta, Karma Yoga is not optional. Sannyasa is optional. You want to take the robes, don't want to take the robes, whatever. Don't want to check up your job and become full-time or not. That is optional. Job, family, etc. Check it all up. Yeah. That's why going to Kumbh Mela is a great experience. You will find all types of sadhus there. Sometimes you'll say, oh my God, I don't want to be part of this. You see some of the Naga Babas and all, bam bam bole. All of you should be thankful that I didn't accept one of the offers to be one of the Mandaleshwars there, okay? Otherwise, I would have been one of those bam bam bole sadhu. All of you would have run away. And the one who was offering me was saying, we need somebody to take this to the next century. You had a man with vision. Yeah. Someone English speaking who knows the modern world to take it. That time it was too early. Now it is too late. Yeah. So, you meet, yeah, you think all of them are, just because you see them as Bambam Bole sadhus, you think all of them are uneducated and this and that? No, of course not. Yeah. Well, on the YouTube and all, you might have seen there's an IIT graduate there. No big deal. You've seen a lot of people. Yeah. If a sailor can become a sadhu, an IIT graduate can also become a sadhu. What's the big deal about it? There was a pilot Baba also. Yeah. Very popular. Yeah. He was known as Pilot Baba because he was a pilot before. So you find all times. Why? Because hey, you live your life in any manner. If you have grown and you are mature, eventually you will want moksha. So they chose that lifestyle. You have a choice to choose that lifestyle or remain as karma yogis. Remain as grahasthas and seek the truth. Either way it works. What matters is knowledge. Jnanam tu sannyasa lakshanam. We will see that in the next chapter. Next chapter is dealing with that. Jnana, karma sannyasa. So I am introducing into the next chapter, okay? Yeah. Yeah. So knowledge is the most important thing. Focus on the knowledge. Yeah. And your growth. Yeah. If you are working in harmony with your priorities, growth is assured. Yeah. Growth is assured. Because you are taking care of what is really important to you. One after the other, you are taking care of it. Or simultaneously, you are taking care of it. And there is where we will find we are not all that different from each other. All of us will have some priorities at the physical level. How much? All of us need some money. How much? How little? All of us need some comfort. How much? How little? All of us need some emotional nurturance. Friends enough? Enough. No, I need somebody special. Okay? No, I need children also. I need family. Then it depends how much. It's only a question of degree. Everyone has the need. Degree. Intellectual, this thing. You want a doctorate? Yeah. No, I just want to know what the neighbor is doing. Degree. Spiritual urge is also there in people. When you talk about, I want to be stress-free, I want to be peaceful, etc., that's a spiritual urge. Or all the way to moksha. Sensible to go all the way to moksha. So all these level of priorities, we are how different are we from other human beings? If you are a student of Vedanta, you have discerned where the fundamental problem is and how to get it, solve it. The fundamental problem, what is behind all the priorities, the need for moksha, the need for freedom from existential issues of isolation, loneliness, etc., of purposelessness. Yeah, Karthik.
So Swamiji, desires is one part of
Yeah.
The equation. The other part is adversities in life.
Yes. Yep.
Is that also Karma Yoga Buddhi?
Yes, in all adversities. In fact, you will need more Karma Yoga Buddhi there. When life challenges you like that, through adversities, etc. Yeah. A forest fire destroys my house. I had to accept it as karmic, no? And then deal with it. It's karmic, so prasada buddhi. Hey, this is my offering to the Lord of Fire. Agni Devata, this is my offering. My whole house, everything went off. Thank God, my money is in my bank account, not under my bed. So, but and then deal with it. Insurances, that, all that you take care of it. But that's also karma yoga. Are you seeing that? Yeah. Yeah, Arpita, you had a question.
Yes, Swamiji. Swamiji, while handling emotions,
Yeah.
there are a lot of internal conflicts.
Yes.
At an intellectual level, I
Yep.
do understand that you need to be mature about it, apply Vedanta principles and all. But mind also tends to get
Correct.
extremely creative and comes with
Yes.
counter argument.
Yeah.
And you act on it.
That's why
And
here.
within 5 minutes of acting, it comes back to the mature side and then it rationalizes as
Yeah.
to how you should not have done it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I am seeing this pattern happening over a period of.
So that means you require a little helping hand. If there's a pattern, you require a little helping hand to break that pattern. First, see the pattern, and then talk it over with someone.
Okay.
If you have noticed the pattern, that's very good. You have come a long way because you have noticed that there is a pattern in what's happening. Then sit down with someone and discuss how to break that pattern.
Okay.
Yeah, it's. In fact, if you have noticed the pattern, you have come a long way. People don't notice patterns.
Okay.
Yeah. Then that is taken care of. After that, what is there? Hey, things are bright and beautiful. So what do you do after that? Go and have a cup of coffee or kya? What else is to be done? Once you know the truth, what is left? There is no shouldn't, do whatever you want to. Yeah. Want to teach? If you know enough to teach and you have the ability, teach. You want to be a sannyasi, be a sannyasi. If you want to continue in your life, continue. Like people used to ask, what are you going to do after you gain the knowledge? So, if it is a mature answer, I would give, well, if I get the wisdom, I will be wise enough to know what to do with it. Otherwise, if I want to be provocative, I would say, I'm just going to loaf around here. Kya karne ka hai? I'm going to loaf around, do nothing. Babaji ban jayega. That's literally. Na? People are suddenly wondering, of the Kumbh, so many Naga Babas are coming around. There are thousands of them, lakhs of them. But they're all in their ashramas, in the forests, in the caves, whatever they are staying, quietly doing the sadhana. All that aghoris, all the stories you hear, na? They live in the smashana, this thing, they eat dead bodies. All these are stories, they're not true. That they will meditate on the smashana, that is true. I have joined them and done that. So I know that is true. Yeah, but then eating dead bodies are just stories created, so people are scared of them, then they will leave them alone. They are left alone so that they can continue with their sadhana and things like that. They don't want to be disturbed by everyone coming there. So once in 12 years, they are willing to be a spectacle. Okay, everyone goes there, oh, acha, Gauri hai udhar. So they'll put on a bit of a show with their basmarti and this and that. That's all just part of the thing. There people, Shraddha, will have some Shraddha and they look at them and oh, there is huge thing behind it. We talk about energy work in Tai Chi and all. Na? I have seen this Naga Baba, this Aghori, big Jatadhari, strikes a match to his Jata and sits down quietly on the Ganges bank. And the whole thing burns away. Doesn't harm him. Then he goes, has a dip and comes out and walks away. Tai Chi, energy work, how many of us will reach that level? We don't. Quietly. Yeah. So all this is part of our tradition, part of our history, that this thing, good. Yeah. It's good for people to see it once in a way. If you're missing this one, doesn't matter. Another few years, another one will come around. There's no issue. When the Kumbh Mela takes place in Haridwar, everyone can go because you can stay in our ashram and go down and come. Yeah. But don't try to do a Kalpavas unless you are that committed to it. Like how I did Kalpavas, be there for the whole thing, right from the first day to the last day, 41 days of it. So with that, next class we will start the 4th chapter. Okay, good place to stop. Om Tat Sat.